Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. I'm Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of the show. So happy to have you guys on. If you are tuning into the show via YouTube, welcome, welcome. Sometimes I forget to acknowledge you. Charge it to my head, not my heart. And for all of you Facebookers, hello, welcome to the show. It's a wonderful Music Monday. And I've got a wonderful guest here. And they are all wonderful. All my guests are. Um, I just love what I do. If I could do this 7 days a week, I think I would do it. Do you know? So listen, before we get started, I'm going to allow you to just do this, okay? Share and invite. I know you're in and you're watching us, but I need you to share. If you're on your laptop, you could do that without a problem. Go ahead and open up another tab, share, invite, let everybody know we are on the air and we want you to have others get connected and join the conversation tonight. I have a very, very special guest. Grammy Award winner Jay King is here, and just so excited to just, I said on the promo, chew the fat. Basically, we're going to chop it up a little bit and find out a little bit about him, what got him started in the industry, how things have changed along the way, and what we can expect coming up. So looks like he's getting readjusted. But listen, again, don't forget, I want you to share and I want you to invite and let everybody know we are on. So everybody, please give an indie artist reveal. Welcome to our special guest tonight, Jay King. Hey, Jay.
I'm trying to get it together here. I'm trying to find the best place to do it.
You know what? Honestly, as I've looked at your background since we've been chatting, you don't have a bad spot.
Uh,
You've got lots of nice artwork and it's very colorful and
yeah,
yeah,
I just want
yeah,
to try to
you've
figure out
the right
the
place to
best.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, welcome to the platform. We are so honored to have you.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you are, for those who may not know, where are you in the world? Where are you logging on at?
I'm in Sacramento. Yeah.
Sacramento. Wow. So now, because I'm not a Cali person, so of course we all know about LA. In relation to that, how far are you in drive distance from LA?
7, 8 hours.
Oh, I didn't know it was that far.
Yeah, California's a big state. They've tried to turn California into 2 states and sometimes three.
That's
It's a 400 miles
whoa.
between LA and Sacramento.
That's
Um,
amazing.
but I never drive. So I live in both places. But I only fly. But that's too
Okay.
long of a drive for me. Yeah, I'm spoiled in that respect.
Are you? Wow.
Yeah,
Jay,
I'm not driving.
wow. I have the longest I've driven is 12 hours by myself from Jackson, Mississippi to Chicago. It's about 11
Oh,
hours.
I'm good for 2.5.
And that's all she wrote, right?
I'm done after that.
I,
Roll it up, pack it in.
it's it's a take. It's a take.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for giving us an hour of your time. It's gonna go really, really, really fast. I want us to just start by getting an understanding of how far back you can remember music impacting your life, Jay.
Wow, shoot. Since I was 4 or 5.
Whoa.
Yeah. Music, there's never been a time that I can remember
Yeah.
where I didn't hear music.
Mm.
My mother was a music lover and music player, so music always played in our house. My father, my father had uh 8-track tapes in his car, you know. So,
Oh my God.
yes, I go back to the 8-track tape. Listen.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
honestly, that's antique. That's antique.
I'm antique. I'm 63. I'm not a spring chicken. I feel young. And I think in
Um,
order to be of any substance in this business today, you got to feel young. You got to have some youthfulness. If you're gonna make music that's going to be competitive in this
mm,
industry, that you got to have some youth about you. That's got to be something young and vibrant about you. Otherwise, you start sounding dated.
true. That is
Yeah.
so true. Absolutely.
I don't
So
want. I
who,
don't. I don't put no dates on myself.
well, but you know, I've been kind of following you unbeknownst to you because I knew you were coming on the show, and I know that you are, um, you think healthy because you
Yeah.
walk. Um, was there a reason other than for health purposes that you decided to incorporate that into your?
Yeah. Because one day on Kings in the Morning, uh, Ali said, "I see you, pops. I saw your gut." And yeah. Well, we was on stage. We were performing someplace, and then and then I was looking at myself one day, like I'm looking at myself now,
Yeah,
and my face looked like a bulldog. And I said, "Why did y'all let me?
Jay.
Yeah, why did y'all let me get bulldog face?
Aw.
And why didn't
Well,
anybody say anything about it?"
well, but Jay, honestly, you some people are super sensitive. Now, if people know that you're okay with having
Having
someone mention it,
bulldog
yeah,
face.
not that, but some people are sensitive about weight gain.
Well, I
And
mean, then they shouldn't gain weight and be around Kings in the Morning because you're gonna
oh,
get talked about. So
I
I
believe
mean,
that.
we're top. I mean, those are top of the line baggers. So nobody can outbag those dudes. They are top of the line baggers. They're gonna talk bad about you. So I had to lose the bulldog face. Part of
Oh,
losing bulldog face is walking, working out,
sure.
boxing. So but you ain't gonna do nothing about old man face. Old
Well,
man face is gonna exist because you're an old man. So I'm gonna be an old man. I can't do nothing about that part. But I really feel young and vibrant, especially when it comes to music and performance. I just I enjoy it, and you know the same way I enjoy radio. But I really enjoy my life. I'm thankful to God every day that I wake up and I
yes.
can get at it, whatever it is. I don't I don't concern myself with small minds
Mm.
and nonsense.
Now you're preaching to the choir, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally get that. I totally do. But then circling back to you talking about, the performance part of what you do, I think that you're correct in that getting healthy helps you not
Hmm.
be so winded. When you're on stage and you're moving around,
Yeah.
nobody has tried to do that who doesn't perform on a consistent basis, singing and dancing. Uh, that's hard to do.
Well, they do it now because they have all their voices on tape. But we didn't come from that era. We
We did
come from
not.
you got to no. And as I've gotten older, my voice has gotten stronger. But I think it's because I've never drank before. I've
Right.
never I've never smoked. I've never done drugs. I've never been high. And
Good for you.
yeah. And and you know you know I believe that if we're going to do it, and when I can't do it at a high level, when I can't do it and sound good, sound like the record, then I
Yeah.
shouldn't do it. Sometimes people stay on that stage too long. You know better than be on that
Mm,
stage.
Mm.
you don't sound like that no more.
Mm-hmm. True. That is true. And it's
You know who
time
you
to
are.
hang it up.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Totally, totally agree. Well, beyond the health part of what you do, I mean,
Hmm.
that's just the beginning of your day.
Yeah.
So then, how many days a week? Because you're in radio, yes?
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. How many days a week are you on the air?
So I'm on the air 4 days a week. Mondays from 1 to 3, I do a show called Politics. Tuesday and Wednesday from 3 to 5, and Thursday from 3 to 6. I
Oh,
also do a show on Sundays on KBLA in Los Angeles, but I tape it on Monday at right
right.
around 6 o'clock. But because
Mhm.
I'm doing this show, I'm gonna tape it tomorrow.
I love it. I feel special, Jay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, that wasn't even a part of what. Well, it is what I was going to ask you as far as radio, but since we were talking about the things that you do on a daily basis, some folks don't know that you're in radio, and I just wanted to bring that
Yeah.
to light. And we'll touch on it a little bit more, but as we were talking about the things that impacted you years ago, you said you were around four-ish. Who were
Yeah.
some of your influences? And I know they change as we get older. Who are some of your major influences in music, Jay?
Well, the greatest influence on me is Marvin Gaye,
Ah.
because of how honest he was. Marvin Gaye is one of few writers that can write about his pain in real time
Mm-hmm.
and then sing it. Most people have to go through the pain,
Ah.
process the pain,
Yep.
and then later they can sing the pain. Marvin Gaye did it in real time, which made him special. But he had a lot of God on him. Um,
Mm.
so Confunction is my favorite
Mm.
band because when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I used to wait for Michael Cooper to come outside so I could wave at him.
Ah.
And yeah, and because I lived in Vallejo. And but my very favorite band of all times uh, is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Mm.
And then you got Parliament Funkadelic
Yeah.
and Cameo that they round it out for me. Um, but I love Wes Montgomery for his guitar playing, and um, I love Miles Davis for his trumpet playing. I was a trumpet player
Mm.
first, and I love John Coltrane for his saxophone.
So do you play any instruments? I'm hearing you name, and it doesn't matter that they play an instrument or sing. I just asked about influences. Do you
So
play
I
any
play
instrument?
trumpet, but I play keys. I play keyboards. As a matter of fact, I'm taking lessons again from a guy named Doug Lovelace, just because. So you learn a number of chords,
Yeah.
and then you write songs based on the chords you learn, because
Yeah.
every set of chords got about 40 songs in them, and then
Yeah.
you make the song. But so now I'm learning some new chords and just learning to get my fingers back. So I started taking lessons again.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Huh?
But again, because I want to stay, these young people talk about music that young people make, and there's some young people making great music.
Yes.
And so you don't want to be the old dude talking about how bad the young music is, because then
Ah,
you start realizing that you're the old guy that was talking about the music you was making that
yep.
was different
That-
from his. So
Yep.
I love Anderson .Paak. I'm a big Anderson .Paak fan. I'm a big Snow Allegra fan. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I like some of Giveon stuff, and there's a group called Bane. I really like them. Um, I, Lucky Day, I love him. But then there's some local guys. that
Yeah.
are around that yeah, Sean Rayford is a saxophonist, one of my
Yes, he
favorites
is.
out of Sacramento. And then
Mhm.
Joe Levy and Lucky Witherspoon and
Yes.
and TC Thurman Connor, they call him TC Commande. Um, Pete Velasco is my new
Oh my
favorite artist right now.
god, he's
I, I,
amazing.
anytime he makes it, he just released a new record
He
called
did.
When
I
It
heard it.
Rains.
I
Yeah,
heard it.
I already downloaded it. So I'm a super fan. I'm a Pete Velasco super fan.
Yes,
So
Lord.
I
Yeah.
love I love music. I'm a real music lover. There's a group called 3TOB, the original band from Tony. They
Yeah.
got Amar, who fronted the Tony band when Raphael left because him and Raphael sounded so much alike. I think
Yeah.
Amar is just a little deeper as a singer, but they
Mm.
got music out. Uh, so I play music though. I love being on the radio because I can play new music.
Yes.
Um, there's a sister named Ariel Marin out of the Bay Area that's bad. There's a brother Gerald Richardson out of Memphis. I get to play all this music. So my job is to play music I love.
I know. So how
Yeah.
far well, you know what? We need to take the first break of the night,
Okay. All right.
because I don't wanna miss that. This is getting so good, and you know what? I promise you this hour's gonna be gone so quick. Um, and then I'll have all these questions that I wouldn't have asked. But in any event, I'm enjoying it. People are still popping in. Comments are there we have not even addressed, Jay,
Okay.
but it's okay. We'll get to them, you guys. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Jay and I are going to be back in just a little bit right here on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. Don't you guys go too far. We'll be right back. The Music Note Boutique has returned, offering must-have lifestyle go-tos from Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. Grab your black is the new white mug, our 25-ounce hot-cold travel cup, and our classic teas, available in an array of colors. Get your essentials now. Visit Etsy.com/shop/The Music Note Boutique. Join us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to hear the stories of artists you love and discover artists you'll learn to love on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide via Facebook and YouTube. The expansion continues. You can locate us on 10 affiliate radio stations, rebroadcasting Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide segments around the globe. Come on, join the indie community. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I am Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. I've got this great guy on tonight. His name is Jay King. He's here and he's just being so gracious and giving us some time and some history. That's what I'm loving, Jay, is the history part of the conversation. And actually, before we went to break, I was going to say, there's one artist. I personally think you have a familiar sound as this artist, and I didn't hear him in the lineup. Um, Curtis Mayfield.
Oh, I love Kurt. Well, I love Curtis. Of course, I
I
love Curtis
your
because
voice.
I named what I named you was all new artists.
Yeah, yeah.
Artists that yeah. So, but if you talk about, so I'm a music connoisseur.
Of course you
Um,
are.
so um, so Curtis is one of my favorites. But Marvin is the king. But I'll tell you that Curtis, Al Green, um,
Mhm.
um, Ronald Isley,
Mhm.
um, and this is going to shock you, but Johnny Guitar Watson, because Johnny Guitar Watson was Charlie Wilson before Charlie Wilson. If you listen to Johnny Guitar Watson and you listen to Charlie Wilson really was influenced
By
by
him.
Johnny Guitar Watson.
Got it.
But when I talk about music in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
Sly Stone has to be the king that is that never gets his crown,
Hmm.
because Sly Stone wasn't just a great musician and artist with Sly and the Family Stone. He produced a lot of pop records and was on the radio. He was influential on the radio in
True.
the Bay Area. But he was the first supergroup in the history of the music business that encompassed men, women, black, white, Hispanic,
Mm.
that played women that played major instruments, not just singing, but playing trumpet,
Right.
playing keyboard,
Yep.
um, a, a Hispanic guy on drum. You know, I mean, he really was was an innovator and probably the most overlooked producer
Mm.
in the music business. And when you talk about folk music and mainstream, nobody did it greater than Sly Stone. And if you really want to go find out who Sly and the Family Stone were, go and find old footage uh, from the old Woodstock footage when they put him on at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he woke the whole village up and turned that mother out.
Shut up.
Yeah,
What?
all the bad men overlooked and every step. But that's the politics of the game. You know,
Hmm.
when you don't play how they want you to play, when you don't do what they want you to do,
Mm.
um,
That
you
part.
know, to the left, all that other stuff that come with it. Another group I love that I think what was overlooked was War. I think War, nobody give War the real respect that they deserve. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, that part. Yes. That part too.
I should cameo, just to FYI.
Oh man. I'm getting a history class, you guys, and I'm loving this. About music. And I'm like you. I think there are so many who have been unsung, and not to just keep bringing him up, but some of the same verbiage that you shared about um Sly is that Curtis Mayfield, he was way ahead of his time.
Yeah,
He was writing music for himself and others,
yeah,
in a time when that just wasn't really heard of by, at least by, African Americans.
yeah.
So definitely, definitely. I want to ask you about your days in radio. So,
Okay.
what was it? I mean, I know you. It's about music. I do. I mean, we can find all kinds of ways to jump into music and um, pull out that passion that's in us. And I definitely know you're passionate about music. But was it part of the passion for music that got you into radio?
No, actually, I wanted. So I had a friend named Robert Redwine, and
Okay.
I used to call Robert Redwine early in the morning, and I would say, Robert, do you know why you're broke and I'm not?
Oh
And he'd
God.
say, no, no, KJ, why am I broke and you're not? And I said, because Robert, because I'm up. I'm the early bird.
Oh,
You looking for
it's
the
the
worm? I
worm.
already got it.
Mhm.
You want some
Yep.
of the worm? And he said, KJ, can I have some of the worm? I said, nope, because you late. And so I used to call him and bug him all the time. Robert passed
Ah,
away earlier this year. Wonderful
oh,
guy. He was on Kings in the Morning as well.
yeah.
And one day he said, King J, we should do a radio show. And
Hmm.
so a lady that was working for me at the time, I called her and said, hey, I want to do a radio show. See if they have anything online. And we found Blog Talk Radio. And
Mm.
so it was a show we did called The Way I See It on Sundays from 2 to 4. And that's really how I got into it. And then we started expanding it and doing more shows, different shows. When Lynn Tolliver came around, Lynn Tolliver was a giant in radio. And Lynn
Mhm.
Tolliver heard one of our shows one day and said, I love your network. And I said, it's not a network, it's just a show. And he said, well, it should be a network. And because of Lynn, we started expanding. And I did a radio show called The Music Business, The Way I See It. So I interviewed a lot of different people. I interviewed Sugarfoot right before he died, but I
Oh, wow.
interviewed. I have all these. Yeah, I have all these great interviews, and um, and so that's how I got in radio. And
Mm.
then a friend of mine ran for city council in Sacramento named Alan Warren. He won. And so I started going to Sacramento more. We had a black radio station that wouldn't play local artists. They didn't have enough money to hire DJs. So I went to that radio station, helped them raise money, and volunteered as a DJ. And that's how it all started.
Wow.
But yeah.
Are there any, because there are a lot of greats in radio. Any of
Mhm.
them inspire you?
Um, I think they all do. You know, I have a lot of respect for guys in radio, especially guys with longevity.
Yes.
Um, People don't know how cutthroat radio is
Mm-hmm.
and how, Lee Michaels was a great radio man,
Yes.
and Lee Michaels is still alive.
Still
But
alive.
Lee Michaels don't get to participate in radio because of the way the game is set up. And before 1986, you could only own a total of seven broadcasting companies,
Very
including
political.
radio
Yep.
and television.
That's right.
And
That's right.
then when Ronald Reagan deregulated um, the air traffic controllers because it was the FCC, it
Yep.
deregulated radio, and that's how Cumulus and Clear
Ah.
Channel and
Mm-hmm.
and Radio One. That's how all of these things started, where they could just buy up individual radio, and they really went after black radio stations that had black owners. When I
Mm.
first did Rumors, I could go to KDKS in Shreveport, Louisiana,
Walk right
and ask
in.
them to play my record. I
That's
could
it.
go see Swamp Dogg in in Arkansas and say, "Would you play my record?" All these
I
different,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't
And
do that
so,
now.
but then, so what it did was
Hmm.
first you got rid of all the black radio stations that were owned by black folk.
Right.
Then you started getting rid of all the black radio programmers. And
God. Ugh. You are so, man, you're right on it. And guys, I was sharing with Jay at the beginning. He was giving me a Jackson, Mississippi story of Club Nouveau and
yeah,
them being here. And at the time of that concert, I was still in radio. Wonderful urban station called WJMI. It still exists, but it's a hip hop station now.
I remember WJMI.
Do you?
Of
Oh God,
course,
WOAC.
WJMI was one of the first stations in the South that played our record.
Yeah. Oh God, they
Yeah.
they wore it out, Jay. Wore that.
WJMI wore rumors out. You guys, man, KDKS in Dallas, Texas, it was the South. You know, people don't know
Hmm.
that California was one of the last states
I heard
to
it that
play our
played.
record.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I totally heard that. And that's why do you think that is, Jay?
Because
What?
it's a major market.
Mm,
And that's the politics of radio. You know, that's where, so you got to look at Los Angeles, San Francisco,
okay.
Chicago,
Hmm.
New York, DC,
Yeah.
Houston. These are big markets. Dallas. These are big markets. They don't break records.
Mm.
You got to prove yourself in the little
In the
league. You
local.
know, with the smaller stations,
That's
and
it.
then then the rise up. But you also had clubs played a big part, and club DJs played a big part. And
Yes.
but now now you're in a different world. So people try to compare it and say, the music business is worse today than it was. The
Ugh.
music business is different today than it was. But you have so many mediums
Yep.
that you can use
To get
to,
your music.
and then how you interface with the audience. I was
Yep.
talking to Pete Velasco one day, and I told Pete he was cheating his music, that he disrespected his music
I
because his
love
music
how
is,
you word things, Jay. I love it.
well, his music is so good, but he
It
don't
is.
believe in his music.
Ah,
And I said, you cheat your own music. Um,
yes.
and
Yes.
artists have to come off of their high horse and
Mm.
get eyeball to eyeball with the audience and say, I need you to support me. I need you to help patronize my art
Wow.
and get people to engage with them that love the music and let those people be the. So now, if you're an artist and if you can get 1,000 people to
Yes.
contribute $100 to you every 6 months,
Mm.
you'd have $200,000 to service those 1,000 people. That means you can do special things for them. You can give them special things. You can have concerts in their backyards. You
Mhm.
can and you can create a living for yourself. And then you can, from those 1,000 people, you can you can go from 1,000 to, and every year, if you grow it by anywhere from 5 to 20%, you go
Yeah.
from 1,000 to 1,050 or 1,200. And before you know it, now you're generating a real living for yourself. But more importantly, you're generating value for your core audience
Right.
because they get all of those limited edition things that only went to them. And if you should happen to have a record that break through because you've done all the work,
Wow.
not only have you developed value for yourself, you
Yeah.
develop value for your fan base. And they can sell the stuff that's limited edition down the line, or hold on to it and, you know,
This is
have.
so valuable. Tons of artists should be on right now listening to this part of the segment, Jay. Um, I mean, I don't want to make this about radio.
Mhm.
Radio does what radio does,
Yes.
and but as a performing
Mhm.
artist,
Uh-huh.
there are just so many, like you said, creative ways. And I think, do you know, when I see, and it kind of breaks my heart when I see the artist, I see a herd of cattle, and they're all going one way, and then there's the path less traveled,
Mhm.
you know, and the
Mhm.
path less traveled is just that, less traveled, and everybody's vying for the same thing. How many of those hundreds of people are actually going to, and again, there's great music, let me qualify this first, there's a lot of great music that's being put out every day. There are tons of campaigns that are going out every day,
Mhm.
lasting 6 8 weeks, you know the whole spiel.
Mhm.
But what's unique to set me apart as an artist from that herd that's going in the same
Well,
direction as everybody else? I,
well,
I want to be unique, you know.
then do it. Then be unique. Then
I'm
be.
just making myself as an
Yeah,
example.
I know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
so you, as an example, just as an example,
yeah,
be unique.
yeah.
Be be different. Think outside the box.
That part.
Um, be creative and inventive. Um, engage with your audience in a very personal and unique way. You'd
Yes.
be surprised at um, at who will champion for you. Look,
Mm.
I heard Pete Velasco because a young lady who's on the radio on my station
Ah,
sent me a Pete Velasco song and said, "Have
right,
you heard of this?"
right.
And and she does a show called Queens at Night. Her name is Frances Wright. I
Okay.
had never heard Pete Velasco. I listened to the song and I liked the song, but then
Yep.
what I did was I went to iTunes and just found Pete Velasco, and the first thing I came across, the very first song I played was a song called "Stop the Presses,"
Yes.
and the song touched me. It moved me. It moved me so much that I downloaded the whole album off of one song.
Oh,
And then I
wow.
went to find out if he had other albums, and I just started downloading the music, and I started finding different songs on different albums, and um, and so I'm a super fan for him. So if people
Mhm.
Masco sent me a text and said, "J. King, I'm making a new record. I would like $100 contribution from you. Would you be willing to give me 100? Not only would I give him $100 contribution, I might give him a $500 contribution and say, hey, and then bring him on my show and the people who have met him through me,
I love it.
I would have them contribute.
I love it.
You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to be vulnerable to your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to say, you know, this is how this music is going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And then engage the audience to grow with you. Look, I don't like promoting my own shows.
You don't?
But no, I don't. I'd rather other people do that. It's not. But there's a group that I love called the Sugar High Band.
Is this one of your people right here, Jay?
Oh, John, that's John.
John Beckman. I'm going broke being Jay King's best.
So let me just say this to you. Have you ever seen the movie Get Out?
No.
Okay, so there's a movie, you needed to see the movie Get Out. But there's a white family that's taken the value of Black people out of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, John Beckman is one of those white folks. So just, you know, if he ever invites you to his house in Las Vegas, just know if he invites you in, you might not come out. Okay, just know that. But that's another story for another day. You got to listen to Kings in the Morning for that story. But
oh, I love it.
Oh. But where were we? Oh, so I don't like. But there's this group, Sugar High Band. I love the group.
Yeah.
My music director, the guy named Ivan Johnson, is his band.
Okay.
And so I decided, you know, we got to figure out a way to break through this thing. And I play their music on my radio station.
Right.
So I'm going to get the community to invest in us, to come out and hang out with us.
Sure.
And the Sugar High Band is going to open for Club Nouveau. So we get to give them a platform.
Yeah.
And then in September, we have the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards. It's our version of the Grammys.
Of the Grammys, yeah.
So people that play on our radio station are going to get a chance to perform. So we put people in places so that they can grow and develop, so that they can bud. You know, it's like planting a flower. You know, so you know, and you let people blossom and bloom, and you challenge them to be great. But it requires you to buy into your own greatness.
Absolutely. We need to bottle Jay King and sell him into the. Oh, wow. This is getting good. I got one more break, Jay. Okay. Just one more. And then, and then we're.
By the way, before we do the break, let me just say this to you. John Beckman is really a great host. Yep, but he's lazy. So he won't take. So he's got his wife brought him a brand new Escalade. And I told him that he should have a concierge service. So when people come to Vegas, they could hire him.
Yeah.
But he's lazy, and he lets his dog lick him in the mouth. Go ahead and go to break. We'll be right back.
Yeah, John. Oh my God! Between you and John,
his dog licked him in the mouth.
Kings in the Morning, you guys. That it is so. Some parts I'm like, okay, you guys are really deep today. Oh my goodness, and I'm sure he's probably commented. John, I'm coming back. I promise you. We're going to take the last break of the night and continue the conversation with our special guest tonight, Jay King. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a minute on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide.
The Music Note Boutique has returned, offering must-have lifestyle go-tos from Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. Grab your black is the new white mug, our 25-ounce hot-cold travel cup, and our classic teas, available in an array of colors. Get your essentials now. Visit Etsy.com/shop/The Music Note Boutique. Join us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to hear the stories of artists you love and discover artists you'll learn to love on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide via Facebook and YouTube. The expansion continues. You can locate us on 10 affiliate radio stations, rebroadcasting indie artist reveal worldwide segments around the globe. Come on, join the indie community.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Sabrina Taylor here with Jay King. Is he sending you text messages? Jay? You're laughing.
Good song. Text message from Duraka. He said, "You did." His dog let him lick it in the mouth while Beckman catching big strays.
I knew you were going to get it for that.
No. We literally we saw he let his dog eat off his plate.
No, what?
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Mm-hmm. With the same fork and everything. Yeah.
That's okay.
It's
I don't
called
know
Cracker
why.
Jacking.
I don't know why, but it just is what it is.
You know what
And
Aretha Franklin said? What it is a low down feeling. What it is from left to right. Rock steady, baby.
rock. That's it. Oh my god. Oh, you guys have such chemistry for real. The synergy there is like off the chain. Kings in the morning, you guys. Starts at 8 o'clock PST time, and so it's 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern. And I just forewarn you, you don't know what you're gonna get. It's a whole lot of stuff, and it's a whole lot of things. So it is. That's all I can say, Jay. It's a whole lot of things. Oh, before I forget, though, talking about the similarities of your voice with Curtis Mayfield, not only him, and I do things like this. I have the golden ear, by the way. I love Sting, right?
Oh, yeah, I love Sting too.
And there was a movie, one of my favorite movies, with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo. Is called The Crown Affair. Have you seen that movie?
I remember the Crown Affair,
I
yes.
love that movie. The Windmill of Your Mind. That song. Every time I hear it, it's like a standstill moment. Don't talk to me. Don't say anything. I would love to hear you sing that song in a performance somewhere.
Wow. I'll have to go listen to it.
That is,
The
and
wind
I heard you. I
the
literally
windmill, what is it called? The windmill?
Windmill of Your Mind
Okay. I'll
and
look it up.
Fragile. Those two, I
I
love.
love his song 1,000 Years.
I love that song as well.
Yeah.
I do too. He's just an amazing artist. Do you
I
think
fell
that
in love with Sting on Every Breath You Take. Every breath
I
you
love that
take,
too? Yeah.
every move you. That song was just it was a very special song from the very first time I heard it.
What
But
about Through the
Synchronicity,
Soul?
I
Through the
haven't heard.
it's an old song. You'll know it if you hear it.
I
It's
probably heard it and just yeah.
44 million people have streamed it. So it's way old.
Okay.
But I thought about you when I saw the movie and I heard The Windmill of Your Mind. I said, Jay could finesse the heck out of this song, especially that one and Fragile by
What
Sting. So,
I'm gonna I gotta call Ivan. I'm gonna ask Ivan
okay.
to make me a
Yeah. Yeah.
skeleton of it. Then I'll listen to it and see if I can.
Let me know. Let me know. So, Janet Marie, how fragile we are. Exactly. That's such a beautiful song. Such a beautiful song.
Now
Um,
Janet Marie is on. She's on Kings in the Morning too. She's
yes, I've seen her name. Yep.
yeah, have you read her comments?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a revolutionary of many degrees. She she always says Peckerwood, so I'll let you figure out
Yeah.
what I'm talking
I know. I know. I know. You guys are rare. That's about as much as I can say.
about.
It's
Yeah,
funny and rare.
Yeah, yeah.
Rare. So I
There are
was
people that the
wondering,
people been listening to us for a long time. Some of those people
how
listen to us for
long have you been on the
50,
air
some of
with?
those people have been listening to us for 15 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They love you guys then.
Yeah.
Oh
Some of the
God.
guys that are on the show are people that used to listen to it and then started calling in.
Oh, got it.
So,
Got it.
so they're not the original crew of Kings in the Morning was me, Robert Redwine,
Mm-hmm.
rest his, rest his, rest his soul, Glenn Tolliver, rest his soul, and
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Davis.
Mm.
We were the original four.
Got it. It's a kind of expanded a little bit.
And yeah, it's expanded a great deal. Now you see Howard, aka OAJ, who's
Yep.
calling in from Thailand. You know, you got Alvin Harrison sometimes calls in from uh, Cancun, Mexico.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, we got people that tune in and listen.
All
It's a
over the
wonderful. It's my therapy. It's how it's how
gotcha.
I'm able. So when I wake up in the morning, I got to do Kings in the morning. So this week I am lecturing or speaking at a school, and I thought that it was going to be 14 to 17-year-olds. Today I
Mm.
found out that they were 5 to 14. And so it was my first time speaking to them, and I just had to speak about me in Vallejo because I grew up in Vallejo and Sacramento. And so it was, if I had to change what I was going to talk about
Yeah.
because my audience changed.
Ah,
But it was a wonderful experience for me. Uh, it taught me how to engage with young people and to get their minds active. We got some old folk that need their minds active too. But
that's true.
but
Yeah.
these young people ask me some of the greatest questions. Oh, so they're engaged when after you speak, they stand up to ask you questions, but not just any questions, great questions.
Right.
And so about 14 kids stood up and asked questions. It was really fun. So tomorrow, I am I have to tell them about a book that I love growing up, and I'm going to speak about Frederick Douglass when I read his book when I was in the
Ooh.
third grade, and what it did to my life and how it really changed my life.
Wow. And I'm just allowing this to be authentic. I know
Yeah.
I have an agenda of questions. I don't care. Those go out of the window. When the guest takes me on a journey, I'll allow them to do that.
But
Um,
I'll shut up and let you ask some of your
no,
questions.
I want you to continue. I want you to know the authenticity of this is amazing. And I love the direction that it's going because it's taking me to the part of uh, I wanted to share about admiring how you are pursuing certain things in your life. And one of those is giving back through sponsoring scholarships. I mean, I tip my hat off to you for kids. I mean, and it's so amazing. I ran up on was that Good Day
Mm-hmm.
um, in Sacramento, Good Day Sacramento,
Mm-hmm.
and I do have footage for that because I want people to see you in a space of performance. It's probably only there's a culmination of two, and it's about 3 minutes, but love that you're giving back. This morning, when you left Kings in the Morning, you were headed out to a charter school.
That's the one I spoke
Yeah.
at this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, and I so appreciate that from you because kids need really great influence and they need direction.
Yeah.
And you were trying so hard to get away from them. They wouldn't let you go. And you're like, guys, I gotta go. I can't let them see me talking to you. It was so funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
because if they see me talking to them, they gonna roll the windows up and say, shut the
and
door and
lock
say,
the doors.
you know,
That was
crank off, crank
funny.
off, crank off. Yeah, they gonna
Oh, that was so
cancel the
funny.
contract.
I know, right? Oh my goodness. But that's one of many things on here that I admire is your give back for those scholarships. You're on various committees, and I'm sure you sit on boards and you contribute. Also, growth to Black communities. Weren't you just recently honored last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about that before we go to, because I really want them to see. I have a premiere. I have two videos, which is unusual for me. But before I go to that, talk about why you were honored last year. I know you don't like to talk
Um,
about yourself much, but I want you to share, if you
because
would.
my mother is a phenomenal woman.
Yes.
And so that's why I was honored. I was honored because my mother
Mm-hmm.
was a tough lady. And
Ooh.
anytime when I first started, I would talk about the stuff I was doing and how I was helping somebody with this, helping somebody with that. And she would say, "You ain't doing nothing. Puffing yourself up.
Ooh. Got
If
it.
you were doing something for people,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about it, not you."
Got it. Yeah.
And
I
then
see.
and one day she said, I was on the phone telling somebody what I was working on. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And she said, if what you do make you who you are, then you ain't ish. And so my mom was at the top of the giving tree.
Okay.
Her spirit
Yes.
was giving. My mother died on my 45th birthday.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, it was an honor. It was an honor to me. I was mad for a year, I ain't gonna lie. And I was
Of
mad at
course.
God.
Of
But one day
course.
God said, she didn't have to be your mom, nigga. And he really said that.
Mm.
And so I gave you Helen. And
Mm.
from that day, my job is to honor Helen. So anything that I do that feels like any type of giving,
Yeah.
it's really Helen on display.
Ah, I love
So
it.
yeah, so she is the giver in me. And she used to say, you're gonna get more from your giving
Mm.
than you will from your getting. And I didn't understand it when she said it. I understand it
No.
clearly
Mm-hmm.
today.
Sure.
And so giving is who she is. And God has been good to me, you know,
Yes.
to be able to do what I do for a living, to be
Yep.
able to live the life that I live, to be
Yes.
able to to be married to possibilities the way I am.
Right.
So opportunities come my way. There are people that are way more talented than me. But
Mm.
the worst thing that they have going for them is they're not open to possibility.
True.
So opportunity passes them by. So, I tell people I'm the least talented person I know, but ain't nobody gonna outwork me.
All right.
So
Wow.
that's my gift. My gift is that I believe it.
Mm.
I believe the work I do. I believe that I can do it. I wake up in the morning and I'm young again. Tomorrow when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to be a young kid. So when I open my eyes, I'm going to open my eyes to possibilities, not as a 63-year-old man, but as a
Right.
young kid that believe in possibilities and dreams.
Wow.
And so the opportunities are going to come my way because I'm open to them. Most people, as we get older, we we cut off
Yep.
and circumvent
That's it.
possibility. So we miss opportunity.
Wow. Well, thank you, Miss Janet, for sharing with us. It was the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. And when I saw that, I thought, wow, J. King, that's phenomenal. That's a phenomenal award. And to hear you talk about your mom is at the top of that giving tree, that makes it even more phenomenal. You had an
But I got to be
amazing.
honest with you. I told my son when I got the award,
Hmm. Hmm.
I said, there's not going to be a greater day for this award than today.
Wow.
And then one day I'm going to die.
Mm.
And then you and your brother and your sister, you guys are going to get together and then you're gonna tell your brother, you're gonna say, "Dad have all these awards. Do you want them?" And then John is gonna say, "Man, I got so much of my own stuff. I don't, I don't know what I'll do with it." And
Aw.
then he gonna call Jordan, and she's gonna say, "Well, those awards and stuff are old. Um,
Mm.
I don't know. I don't really want them." I said, "Then you're gonna look at them as the oldest son, and you're gonna say, 'Well, I got my own stuff,' and then y'all gonna throw it all away."
Aw, Dad. Aw.
But because that's what we do.
Yeah,
So in,
that's
the, in,
true.
these, in these next years of mine,
Yeah.
in these next years, I am going to start downsizing.
Mm.
I want, so I'm a shoe man,
Okay.
and I don't like cheap shoes. So if a
They
shoe is
hurt.
if the shoe is $400 or $500, I think it's a cheap shoe. I like shoes, right?
I get it. I get it.
So I got all these shoes and stuff that I might
Mhm.
wear 3 or 4 times, 8 times, whatever, and they sit in a box. And I
Ah,
told and I buy real clothes that you can resell.
sure.
But I'm thinking about in the next few years
Mhm.
just packing up all this stuff, shipping it out, selling it, and simplifying my wardrobe
Okay.
and starting to downsize my life and all this stuff and see to make it as easy as I can for my kids. So when I transition
Yeah.
and they don't have to do anything.
A lot.
It'll
Yeah.
be the Neptune Society will come. My dad passed away, and
Mhm.
and it was difficult that my father passed away because he was supposed to come live with me, and the week before he was supposed to come live with me. But
Wow.
the Neptune Society came and got him, and they took care of so much stuff. It allowed me to grieve in a way that I probably wouldn't have been able to.
Sure.
Allowed me to step back and take a breath
Mm.
and um and just love my dad.
Yeah.
So so in this house, there are golf clubs all over this house because my dad was a golfer. So in
Ah.
every room, there's a
Mhm.
golf club, and um, and I just think that from my dad, one thing that my dad had downsized his life,
Mm.
and so and even with him downsizing, it was just a lot to do. So now I'm starting to think of my kids in that way. And you don't want to put that kind of pressure on your kids that they think they have to keep all this stuff that was important to you. So
Mhm.
maybe if I get important enough, there's a society or somebody that might want some of my
True.
things, right? But that's
That's
why I'm starting. That's why I started the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Award, so that I can maybe um, I'm going to create a museum for Sacramento musicians, and maybe I can shift the stuff to the museum so it can have stuff.
look
Yeah,
at you.
yeah,
You're such a forward thinker.
yeah.
And I really I love that. I love that. And speaking of forward, the Good Day Sacramento had you on. How long ago was this airing for the scholarships that you did
Oh,
for them?
that was some years
Some
ago. That
time
was
ago, right?
yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But the element in it is, I love how you own the stage. You're a performer for sure. I mean, you go way back. I mean, we're talking Club Nouveau, and
Mhm.
all the hits that you put out with them. Great, you're still putting out great music. There's a tour that's coming on with them, and I really though want those who may not know who you are, and I can't imagine who doesn't know you. Well,
There's a lot
um,
of people. Listen, I don't play. See, I don't play that game with myself.
mhm.
In the 1900s, I was something special. We ain't in the 1900s no more.
Right.
And there's a whole new crop of talent out there. So people that are in. So I always tell people I'm extremely famous in the music business. Like people
Yes.
that are in the music business know me.
Mhm.
When it comes to um, the public, if you are a Club Nouveau fan,
Right.
then you know me. But there were certain things that we did that were good, certain things that we did that weren't good. Number one, we made too much money too fast.
Wow.
We Because I created a group that never played in a club or had to struggle.
Oh, got it.
One
Okay.
time at social club,
Mm-hmm.
one time at social club left,
Yep.
I was creating music that was going to be for them that
And you
switched
should.
to Club
Mm-hmm.
Nouveau. And then
Right.
so Club Nouveau was made into a group. And then we released our first record, Jealousy, and it went to
Man.
number 8. It went top 10, first record. And then Situation Number 9 went to number 4. That was in
My
1986.
favorite.
In 1987,
Yep.
Lean on Me went to number 1. And
That's
then Why
right.
You Think You So Bad
I
followed that. And then in 1988, Heavy on My Mind.
yes.
And then uh 1989, 88, It's a Cold, Cold World. So from 86 to 92, we had
Mm-hmm.
hits, hits,
Oh,
hits.
mm-hmm.
And but we didn't tour a lot.
That's true.
And
That
so,
I
to be in this business, and I'm telling people who are listening, if you're an artist and you want to have a long life, you got to tour,
got to get out there.
especially when you have hit records. That's
Yep.
why Karen White could walk away for 17 years
And come back.
and then come back and rekindle her
That
career.
part. Ooh.
I managed Karen. I hope Karen would have come back.
Listen,
I,
Jay. Listen. Let me tell you. What I was going to. What I was going to say. I'm going to tell myself. It's embarrassing, but I'm going to tell myself. I said I can't imagine who doesn't know you except the person. And this is where I was going to tell myself, except somebody like me, because I didn't know you. I had dropped a client's daughter off one morning during school. School's out now, and I listen to a lot of Spotify. And Spotify has this algorithm; it knows what I like to hear. And I heard your voice as this kid was getting out of my SUV, and I said, "Well, now who is this person? Jay? Who is Jay King?" And so I was driving, so I couldn't really do much, but except to turn the music up.
Mhm.
And I started hearing this very cool bossa nova sound. And I said, "Who the heck is this guy? I had never heard of you before." Now
Right,
I've heard of your name, but I didn't know you were one and the same.
right.
I had no idea. So the short of it is, once I got to a place that I could park, of course I went into the library, and I know the song is the CD has been out for a while. But I said, "Oh God, he's got to come to still not knowing who you were." I just, I just liked the tone, your timbre. I loved that it was grown folk music, right?
Mhm.
And I said, "Okay, he fits perfectly in my smooth jazz world." So I sent an email out and was so surprised because after that, that's when I started doing the research. I said, "Oh my God, that's such and such from," and I put two and two together. That is truly how this all came to be.
Mhm.
And
Well, I'm
so,
glad you said that because a guy named Duraka is listening. The reason why I know he's listening because he sent me the text about John Beckman, right? And
oh,
Duraka always teases me about my singing and says I'm not really, he like, man, how long you gonna fool these people? He just told me this
uh-uh,
yesterday.
uh-uh,
We were at a graduation party for his brother's daughter, my niece, I should say. And he said,
yeah.
man, how long you gonna fool these people? I said, Duraka, I could sing now, boy. So, so
Yes,
Duraka,
you
if you're
can.
listening, now you're hearing it. I want to tell you. So this morning, or yesterday morning, this is what I sent to Karen. I was on Instagram and she was performing and she was doing this thing and it was so funny. And I said, Dub, because that's what I call Karen White. I call her the Dub, White
Oh,
W. So I call her Dub. I said, Dub, you have elevated yourself to a whole other level. I
yes.
am super proud of you. You deserve it all. And then she sent me this back. Jay, coming from you,
Oh,
that means everything. Thank you for always seeing me, challenging me, and pouring into me over the years. Your mentorship and belief helped build this moment, and I don't take it lightly. I appreciate you, King.
oh my
That's me
God.
and Doug. I said, we are together for life. I have done for you what you've done for me. never to be forgotten. Because Karen White really, um, she listened to a radio show that I was doing called "The Music Business the Way I See It,"
Mm-hmm.
and she said, and I didn't have her number. Just I get a text message that says, "I love your radio show. I
Oh.
love the way you think."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Who is this?" And
Mm.
then she text back, "Karen White." And I said,
Oh.
"The Karen White?"
Right.
And then she
Right.
said, laugh out loud, "Yes." I said, "I'm going to call you after my show." And I
Oh.
called her. She had started this entertainment company, and she paid me 4 months in advance to come work for her. And
And
that's how,
when I found out that you had worked with her in my research, I
yeah.
had no. You were sitting on a stage, some type of conference or seminar or summit or whatever it was, and you just matter of factly said something like, "I worked for or managed Karen White." I said, "The Karen White?" That's like, oh, okay. Now who am I? I was oblivious. I'm sorry.
So
I just had no clue.
that's okay. So my mama was right. My mama said, if you're doing something,
Yeah,
other people will talk about it.
that's right.
And so it takes, it might take a little time. It might take a little
Of
longer.
course, of
Um,
course.
and I'm not a good self promoter. I'm
Oh,
a promoter of others. But
yes.
there are other people that have been very gracious about me and talking about me. Karen White is one of those people who really
Oh, wow.
always pick up to me. Yeah.
Well, I want people to hear the couple of songs. There are snippets, but
Okay.
it's about 3 minutes from Good Day Sacramento, courtesy of them. And we do have the premiere of the video, All Your Love. I have that as well.
Mm,
So I
mm.
love that. That was one of my favorite songs. I stopped and pulled over to listen
Wow.
to that song.
Derek
So
DOA Allen. That did that with DOA.
DOA.
Derek DOA. Yeah, that's my guy.
Exactly, exactly. So let's start with the Good Day Sacramento. We'll be back in just a moment on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide.
Come on, Courtney. Your face, yeah, greets my eyes. Let's just take, yeah, baby, take our time. I'm gonna love you, baby. Really get to know you, baby. I wanna know you. Ooh, baby, I wanna know. Yeah, look at Tina back there. Girl, you've got that good kind of loving. Good kind of loving. Good kind of loving. Girl, you've got that good kind of loving, good love, loving. Girl, you've got that good kind of loving, good kind of loving, good kind of loving. Girl, you've got that inside your love. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in, oh, let me in, let me in. I want romance, I want your love to dance when you are next to me. The flow of your body has such tranquility, the very breath of me. Your love is all I see. There's no one else for me. You're my queen. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Whoa, let me in, let me in, let me inside your love. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Whoa, let me in.
I love your voice. I'm
Wow.
just I it is so soothing. I'm going to Memphis. I've got a classmate who called me about a week ago to tell me she had brain cancer.
Hmm.
It's the same cancer that Chanel from Today, her husband, died from,
Wow.
and it's incurable. So when I heard that, I thought, okay, I'm only 3 hours from Memphis. I can get in my car and drive. And I
Yeah.
hadn't seen her in 10 years. So my point is, when I do that drive, I'm taking Jay King with me.
All right, but I appreciate that. J. King appreciate that.
I'm taking you with, and I
Okay,
want
so
to
let me
tell
ask you a
Cody Karen
question.
White is
Do
here.
you have all the albums though? Do you have Open Book? Do you have Helen's Son?
Yes.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
then you're good. Yeah.
I
I'm,
have open book.
I'm
Yeah.
working
I've
on the
got
new album. I'm working on Sexy Bossa Nova right now.
it. I want to hear you sing Windmill of Your Mind from
I'm gonna get Ivan.
Sing. Oh,
When I get off this
gotta
deal
sing.
right here, I'm gonna call Ivan and
Yep.
say, I need you to find. I'm going to send him "Windmill of My Mind,"
Yep.
and
It's it's from the soundtrack. I don't know if you can find it.
no, I'm gonna go to YouTube and find
Oh yeah.
"Wind Windmill of My Mind" and
Mhm.
go and send it to him, and then he'll
He'll
do
do
some
his
magic.
thing.
Yeah, he'll
Okay.
do it. Yeah.
I just can hear your voice with that. That is such
Yeah.
a beautiful, beautiful song. It just takes me away every time I hear it. But yeah. Thank you, Castella. Yeah, there's so much happening, so much death. A lot of our luminaries are getting out of here. And I want to welcome Karen White to the platform. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
Karen, Dove is here. What's up, Dove?
She's here. Thank you for popping in.
Yeah,
Um,
Dove is that's my people.
yeah, just happy to see those who are,
Dove,
you've
we
got
were just talking about you. I'm sorry, we were just talking about you, Dove.
did you text? Did you
No, I sent
oh
it to her early. I sent it to her early on.
oh
But
God.
but Dub be moving. Dub be doing. Dub is a Renaissance woman. She Dub would be. Dub is like that guy in the circus.
Yeah, a bunch of balls in the air, right? Oh, wow. Well, we've got one more song, and actually, it is the premiere. I'm just loving the song. Tell me about the producers and the writers um, of the song, All Your Love. Tell me about that before we hit the button.
And it's just me and DOA.
And just you and DOA.
Yeah. So what happened was, so I love Marvin Gaye,
Okay,
and I just sent DOA different songs. I'm like, D, this is what I'm trying to capture.
sure.
And so I sent him songs from the I Want You album.
Okay.
And DOA is a meticulous kind of guy, and
Hmm.
he doesn't just do something. Take like he'll work and work, and then one day he'll call you and say, "I think I picked the lock." And so one day he called me and said, "I think I picked the lock, but you're gonna tell me if this works or not." And
Sure.
he sent me the music to All Your Love, and I
Mm,
listened to it, and I was super intimidated by it because it was so beautiful.
it
And I
is.
didn't I didn't want to write a melody that stepped on the music. So I had to
Wow.
let it breathe. And so and I was like, how do I make this thing live?
Sure.
The music. And he was doing some incredible things on the bass. I didn't want to be in the way of it. And and I wrote the lyric and the melody, and I sent it to him. And he sent me a text back. That's it.
Oh,
And that was it. And that's how
so
we.
what was the inspiration behind the lyrics? You love love. I found that out about your music.
I I love the idea of it.
That's what I
I think,
mean. Yeah,
yeah, I think in a perfect, so I think that's what love is supposed to feel like.
sure,
So when
sure.
somebody, bring it to me, sugar, I like it nice and slow.
Mm-mm-mm.
When I grab hold of you, make your river flow. Taste
Sir,
your love. You know,
sir.
so so it was, it was just it's just about that contact.
Sure.
When a man and a woman are connected, it's an all night thing. It's not it's not just for that moment. It's the all night thing. It's all night long.
Mm.
And so
Well, sir, they are going to be thoroughly intrigued because I was. And so, who's the dancer? Who's the female dancer?
that's a great question. So one day, I see this dancer on Instagram,
Okay.
and she's dancing, and she looks like water to me, like her movement.
Wow, she does.
And
I
so
agree.
I turn the music down that she's dancing to, and I just play All Your Love. And she is, no matter where I put it, she's there. The movement is there.
Yeah.
So I go to Instagram, I go to her Instagram, and I'd say, my name is Jay King. I am a singer songwriter,
Yeah.
and I have a song that I would like you to dance to on video. Who is your
Right.
manager? And so the next week she says, I said, could you have your manager call or email me? So
Mhm.
I'll send her. And then she responds and says, yes, my manager will contact you, but he never
Oh,
does.
what?
So I email her again and I say, I was waiting for your manager to contact me. So
Sure.
then she said, he hasn't contacted you. I said, no, ma'am. So a few days later, this guy, Steve Stevenson, calls me and he says, is this Jay King from Club Nouveau? I said, yes, sir. He said, I don't know if you remember me or not, but my name is Steve Stevenson.
Mhm.
I used to come to your house in the Hollywood Hills when I worked at Warner Brothers. And he said, you used to call me. I said, light skinned Steve. He said, yes. I said, this is light skinned Steve. He said, yes. He said, that's my lady.
Yeah.
And he said, I told her to let me talk to you to make sure that this was you because
Oh,
the internet is crazy. So I said, man,
sure.
I would love to
Sure.
have her. So I flew him and her down from Vegas.
Look at you.
We shot the video,
Yeah.
and she went back home. They went back home, and we shot it in 3 or 4 hours, and she was like water.
Very fluid. Very.
Yes,
Yeah. And I totally agree with you. I couldn't keep my eyes off of her. I was like, who is this? Who
yeah,
is this dancer? She's amazing.
yeah. She really is.
Yeah. Well, you had the eye, and we're going to show everybody tonight what we're talking. What are they talking about? Well, we're getting ready to show you the video tonight to All Your Love. You guys, please enjoy. We'll be back in about, what? It's about 5 minutes, is it,
Yep.
Jay? Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Enjoy. We'll be back right here on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide.
Bring it to me, sugar. I like it nice and slow. When I grab hold of you, make your river flow. Taste your love all night long. Ecstasy when you moan. It's my touch you're longing for. I gotta give it to you, baby, as you give me more and more. All your love, all night long. I'll be giving you good loving when we be getting it on. All your love, all your love, all night long, all night long. Give me that, give me that good love. I'm waiting on you, baby, when you're coming home. I got something waiting for you. We gon' start in the living room. I wanna taste your loving, baby, taste it all night. Keep giving me ecstasy when you're born. It's my touch you're longing for. I gotta give it to you, baby, as you give me more and more. All your love, all night long, all night long. I'll be giving you good loving when we be getting it on. All your love, all your love, all night long, all night long. Give me that, give me that good love. Come on, baby, come on, baby. I just got to have you. When are you coming home tonight? 'Cause tonight is our night, baby. Take your time and do me right, baby. Come on, sugar. I gotta get your love, baby. I gotta get your love, sugar. Can I get your love, darling? Can I have your love, baby? Give me all your love, baby. Give me all your love, baby. Give me all your love and sugar. I got to have your love, darling. Girl, you know you're my baby. All night long. All night long.
Oh my God. That was so super sexy, Jay. I was just sitting here. I'm just as mellow as all get out. It was amazing. And so was she.
Thank you.
Just,
Jay, uh, God, what's Jay? Jay Sent as a director here in Sacramento did that.
he did that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he taught me that videos don't take that long. You know, I come from the era where video was an all day shoot. And so
Yes.
the first time he did Club Nouveau, It's All Right, that was the
Yeah.
first video he did. And
Mhm.
we shot two videos, two different versions of the video in 3 hours. And I was like, yo, man, what's happening? And he was like, we're done. I was like, what you mean we're done? First of all,
Right.
I had a problem with him because all he had was a camera phone and uh and a boom box. No, he had a camera and a boom box. And I'm like, dude,
Crazy.
what about the playback? What about the tones? What about this? And he was like, man,
Mm-mm.
we don't do
We
that
don't do that
anymore.
anymore. Exactly.
And
Oh my.
so he shot this video for Club Nouveau, and I love the video he did for Club Nouveau. And
Yeah,
we did it in 3 hours. We did two videos, 3 hours. Like, wow, this is cool.
it
So then
is.
I called him again, and we shot that video in 2 hours. And so now I know that you can shoot a video in 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's the
Definitely
world. We
not.
live in a different world.
Yeah, definitely not what we're used to in the old days,
Well,
right?
but you know what? But we have to embrace the new business.
The
So
technology.
again, when I hear people that started with me talk
Yeah.
about how bad the music business is,
Mm.
I'm thinking to myself, "You are old man." I thank God I'm not old like you. I'm so thankful
Yeah,
because only old people talk like that.
and that's true. That is.
Young people talk about the possibilities of what we
Mhm.
can do with the new business.
Absolutely.
So
Wow. Jay, you know what? I'm being honest. You're gonna have to come back sometime
yeah,
later
yeah,
in the
just talk.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can touch on some of the you're multi-layered and I don't normally say this, but um I really wanted to go on and on. But the uh attention span of people today,
Hmm.
short. So we're going to edit this for radio because it's going to go out on 8 other radio stations worldwide between LA, New York, Vegas, um, and other places in the UK as well. So
Okay.
I'll edit it down but I don't want to tax the people, but I appreciate you more than you know. I'm glad I know who you are now, and getting to know you was a journey. It was a wonderful journey in reading and research and the history. Then you come on and you talk about the history, and it has just been such an enlightening hour. It's been an hour and a half we've been talking. Does it
Oh,
feel like it?
really?
Yeah,
Okay. So, that's how Kings in the Morning is too, though. Kings in the Morning is like that for me.
you're
Before
right.
I'm like, before I'm like, oh man, this thing is over with. But
Yeah,
that's because we spent about 30 minutes just talking shit. The first 30 minutes,
chewing the fat, as I say.
just, just capping on each other.
I
Just
know.
it becomes a cap session. John Beckman, don't you worry about me drinking beer and smoking cigarettes and letting my dog lick me in my face.
Ew. That is just nasty, man. That is super nasty. But hey, to each his own. I
Yeah.
don't. To each his own.
John Beckman is going to be at the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Award to give an award to somebody. Kings in the Morning is going to be there.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
the guys from Kings in the Morning are going to give an award.
I
So,
love it. I love it. And I don't want to forget to mention you are going on tour. Club Nouveau is getting ready
yep.
to.
So let me tell you some of the dates. So
Okay.
June 14th,
Hmm.
we are in San Francisco for their Juneteenth festival.
Right. Hmm.
June 19th, we're in Fresno for their Juneteenth festival.
Got it.
June 21st, we're in Folsom for the Grassroots tour with the Sugar High Band and we'll be doing those dates sporadically throughout the year.
Right.
And then June 28th, we'll be in Spartanburg, South Carolina, for the Sparkle City Funk Fest with Cameo,
Yeah.
Midnight Star,
Ooh.
Lakeside, Club Nouveau,
Mm-hmm.
and Doug E. Fresh.
Yes, that's gonna be amazing. I gotta catch you guys.
Yeah,
Like I said, if you're in Alabama, that's 3 hours from Jackson. If you're in Atlanta, that's 5.5 hours from me. So, I'll take my pick when I see the dates as you guys add.
we got to try to get to Jackson. That's what we got to do.
Yeah, yeah, you got to, yes, please.
Did Jackson get tired on me?
Jackson, I work with a set of promoters that brought Boney James in on March 14th. It
Mhm.
featured Reagan White's flautist Nate Reagan Whiteside. It was like pulling teeth from a bull, Jay, because what drives us here in the Bible Belt is gospel, Southern soul, and blues. So when you start talking about instrumentation only, you know, it's kind of like, well, who is that? A flautist? Is it classical? They had
Yeah.
just never heard Reagan. And we literally, the night before the concert, 125 VIP tickets were sold. The night before the concert.
Well,
And it
that's
was
good, man.
it was nice, but what can you do with the night before? We can't really plan because we're hustling thinking we haven't sold, enough tickets.
Well, let me just say this: as
Yeah.
promoters,
Yeah.
it's your job
Hmm.
to engage your audience, your public,
True. That's right.
to
Mhm.
understand, and then you got to know the audience.
True.
That's a sophisticated, uh, well manicured,
Yes.
uh, eyebrow audience.
Yeah.
Oh, and just gotta engage them. And so you got to look at the bright side was
Yeah.
that you guys sold 125 VIP tickets overnight.
Yep, we did.
You had a great show,
Mhm.
but what you can't do is not do another one.
Oh, that's
See,
true. I totally
now
agree.
you guys can't wait. You can't wait a half a year. You got to be 90 days. We
That's
got
what I
to do
told
another show
Yep.
because if you don't, you lose the momentum.
I
And
agree,
so
Jay.
it's
I've
just like
been
look,
Mhm.
we're doing the grassroots tour with the Sugar High Band in Folsom. But
Yeah.
as soon as that date ends,
Yeah.
we got to start looking for something in July or August to make sure that we can impact what we did and we can carry the momentum from one place to the next.
Got it. I agree. I like what is his name? Oh God, he says it all the time. I'm tracking you. His last name is Golden. Um it's a black guy. Really great motivational speaker. But I'm tracking you. I get it. I totally get it. So but Jackson loves what Jackson loves and you just like you said you've got to know how to
Yeah. So because what you said it yourself. You guys are doing the road less traveled.
we are yeah.
So you got it. So you're not following the pack.
Nope.
So if you do it right on the
Mhm.
road less traveled, then
Yep.
it's your road. Everybody got to pay the toll to you.
That's true. That is true. Those are
So
my brothers. I'm not necessarily one of the artists when they came to the show, they said, "Is this your gig? Is this you?" I was like, "I'm helping with all the logistics." They didn't know the lay of the land in Jackson, so I helped with everything. But um, they had done other concerts in other areas, except Jackson,
so
Memphis,
I,
and
so I want to start. I want to do some J King music. So what I'm really going to start doing, I'm going to use my house
Mhm.
as as a launching pad or ground zero to create in-home concerts and do in-home concerts.
I love that idea.
Mm. But I'm also right now, I'm looking at a venue um, on the water. It's
Mhm.
a house.
Okay.
It has about 5 acres. And it is going to be called the House. The venue is going to be called the House.
I'm loving
So
it.
local promoters and local artists can
Hmm.
rent it, and they can have a venue as small as 3 dozen people,
Sure.
um, or 200 people, or 2,000 people. But it's going to be a very sophisticated place for
Hmm.
musicians. It will house the um, the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards, a museum for uh, legendary artists that have either lived in Sacramento, made an impact in Sacramento, and they're uh, and like Karen White. People don't know that Karen White lived in Sacramento.
Oh, I
Still
didn't. I
owns a
still.
home here.
Hmm.
Yeah, she
Right.
still owns a home here up by one
Okay.
of the golf courses. Um, but
Wow.
she was very impactful in the
Hmm.
area. So I really tried to get Karen to move to Sacramento. If Karen had moved to Sacramento when I told her to, she'd have been a superstar on radio already. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
because I wanted her to do radio because Karen would have done great on radio. Um,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I really think what we're doing here, what we're going to do here in Sacramento, is going to be replicated across the country because
I
it
want in.
is it is it is the way that we're going to create creative economies
Hmm.
for local artists, local municipalities,
Right.
that so that they can capsulate that those dollars and circulate them, and so they
Mm.
can grow and grow and grow
Right.
and become a hub. So now artists will come into Sacramento to the house
Right.
to perform. So other independent artists will come to the house because the house is going to be the spot known for artists that want to break through. Yeah,
Mm. Wow. You've already thought this thing through, haven't you? How long have you been
I got a
thinking?
lot of stuff. I told you I wake up in the morning, my mind is like a little baby.
You're
It's
inspired. I
it's
love
on
it.
fire.
I love it. I love it. Jay, you're an amazing, mighty man, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
Um, oh, it's such a pleasure. And I want you to leave a gold nugget for the independent artist who, at this moment, they're kind of on the fence because there's so much happening to the left and to the right of them. They can't quite get a footing and they're trying. What would you say to that artist at this moment about their music?
Get 100 people to contribute $100 to you. Start with family and friends and branch out to people that believe in you. Take that $10,000, only concentrate on a single.
Mm.
And those 100 people make 100 CDs that are special from them, that are different than the other 900 you'll make, that you'll sell. Only sell 1,000 of them.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
And those 100 people, you just gave them something that becomes gold. It's valuable because the idea is that you're going to become a star one day. And this is a limited edition. And
Yeah.
every quarter, release a single. Don't release albums, but release different mixes of the single, and start to just develop yourself. And what you'll find out is inside those 100 people, there are 5 that are super fans that will do different things for you, that will do work for you that nobody else does. There's a girl that I give a hard time on Kings in the Morning, Snitchy Smurf, if you ever listen. I give her a hard time, but one of the most loyal
Mm.
people to the J King Network and what we do. So if I was going to create a team
Hmm.
and pay somebody,
Hmm.
she would be at the center of it.
Whoa.
So what'll happen is you'll find those. You'll find those snitchy smurfs. You'll find those super fans. I got a friend named Greg Horsley. I've known Greg Horsley since I was 14 years old. To this day, if I'm doing something, Greg Horsley is there. He's my super fan
Mm.
and my brother.
Hmm.
So you got to I got to find 100 Greg Horsleys.
Wow.
And then once you find 100 Greg Horsleys, then you find 1,000 Greg Horsleys.
That's it.
Then once you find 1,000 Greg Horsleys, you find 10,000 Greg. But it's always a continual work. John Beckman, as much crap as he talks, John Beckman is another one of my super fans. People that if I do something, and and I try to make him pay reparations as much as possible. He thought I was gonna say something good about it.
Oh my God, I love it. Hey, you have missed your calling, my friend. You are so humorous.
I really amuse myself. If not anybody else. Sometimes I'm asleep at night and I'll wake up and cracking up. I laugh at myself. Um, Last night I was thinking about Fred. Because Fred, we joke about Fred, but
Mm-hmm.
Fred had cancer. Fred beat cancer, and and beating cancer though the radiation, he lost
Oh,
his teeth.
right. Mm-hmm.
So sometimes Fred talks so much mess that and he don't have his teeth in on the show, and so I'll come on as Fred's teeth. Jay, it's me, it's Fred's teeth. He got us in the jar. He won't let us out. So I can do that. But
That is
the other
cool.
day, I think I don't know who I was talking to, but they were talking about Fred's tongue going wild. So I came on King in the morning. I'm like, Fred, we can't. You need to put your dentures in because your tongue be going wild, and we can't understand what you talk about when your dentures are in. They hold your tongue in place. So, so anyway,
My
this morning
stomach
I woke
hurts.
up. I woke up laughing about it. It was just so funny to me. I cracked myself up. I was
Oh,
taking a shower, just chuckling about his damn tongue going wild, and I could just see his tongue just.
oh, you gotta quit. 'Cause-
And you probably got a friend with a wild tongue. That's why you laughing.
oh, oh, my.
Don't know what the hell. Don't know what the hell they saying. Wild tongue.
Oh my God, my stomach hurts. Oh my God. And you guys, they do this every morning. Kings in the morning. They have you in stitches. Do you
But
hear
you
me?
know what? When John Beckman first got on Kings in the Morning, he was such a crybaby. He was such a sissy. But one day my sister was listening to us. He said, John Beckman and caught up with and passed y'all. we
Oh,
John Beckman used to get his feelings hurt, but now he beyond that now. Now he's a feeling hurt.
Jesus. This is a whole syndication. I'm telling you. Oh, it is too. You guys are should just bottle yourselves up and well,
Yeah.
it is funny. If you're
It's
having a bad
a,
day, you won't when you leave
they're the
Kings.
best guys. It is the best. It's the best part of my day. It really is. It's my therapy. It's my therapy and my peace.
I get it. Did you see the comment there from
No,
beautiful?
what?
She's laughing.
Oh, Fred King goes for
Go
us here now.
with you.
Um, so we got Ali who's got a broke back. We call him Brokeback Mountain. Then you got Dre Hines. We call him Dr. Dre. John Beckman calls him Lady Dre because he had a few encounters with transgenders that he was attracted to. But he's not gay. He just transgender that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah, laughter does do good like a medicine. I'm just not a cusser. It's not in me to cuss my sister.
You know
Oh,
what? I became I I'm a great cusser, and but I'm not
I
gonna tell
heard
you.
you.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm at the top of the cussing line. But they
Yes.
say people that cuss tell the truth. So I'm one of the great truth tellers with all that cussing.
Yeah, I
So
hate
it's
to
some people
say
that don't cuss that just Sister Lovejoy. I'm not gonna cuss, but I'm gonna say this. The Lord spoke to me
oh,
personal. And the Lord said to me, Sister Lovejoy, get a tithe, get a tithe from Sobrina. She owes a tithe to the Lord. That's why I'm here, Sobrina. Um, Go to Cash App, Sister Lovejoy, Cash App, Sister SISTA, Love LUV, Joy, JOI. I cracked myself
oh,
up.
you guys are amazing. I tell you. Oh my God. Some days I just tune in to laugh because I'm having, I'm doing other things on the
Yeah.
artist relations side. And so it's getting hectic. It's getting kind of hectic, right?
There's some government officials that listen to us that really, but I'm gonna tell you, when I knew that we were different and bigger than we thought, is
Yeah.
one day I was in the airport and this woman walks up to me, a white woman, a
Mhm.
very white woman, and she said, "Excuse me, are you Jay King from Kings in the Morning?"
Yeah.
And so, I figured are you Jay King from Club Nouveau? Are you Jay King from the California Black Chamber?
Mm-mm.
Are
Mm-mm.
you Jay King
Mm.
from Kings in the Morning? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I love your show. It's a little
Oh,
racy, but I really enjoy you guys.
you
So that's
got
when I
her
knew.
dialogue right down,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, but that's when I knew I was like, okay, I told them, I came back to the show when I said, hey, y'all, people listen to us.
They are listening.
Yeah.
They really are. It's a little racy, but like she said, it's a little racy,
It's
but
a little racy.
it will keep you
But
laughing.
we talk about some good things too. We talk about
Yes,
some
you
interesting.
do.
Yeah.
Right. You do. I agree. Well, Day, again, thank you so much, you guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I I don't know what to keep and what not to keep because it's all so good. When I get into editing, we'll find out what I want to keep
Yeah,
in
we'll
here. But
figure it.
I'll
We'll
tag you
figure
on it.
Okay.
It'll be a whole week.
Okay.
Um, yeah, from Tuesday it starts in LA, and then Wednesday's the UK, and then it just goes on from there. And sometimes it's two stations in a day. Friday is Dal Soul, it's an iHeart station, and then WHTL. One's at 5 and one's at 5:30. So you'll see sometimes back to back, but um,
Cool.
I'll tag you and let you know. Okay.
I appreciate it.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome. Ronnie Song's in the house. Hey, Ronnie. So good to
And
have
Jana
you.
Marie said, laughter is the best medicine and cussing. And that's because can't nobody cuss like Jana Marie.
Is that why she said that?
Oh my God. Don't get Jana Marie. She is Jana Marie is that 1960s girl right there. You got all the brothers, and then you got that one sister with the big natural, but she'll cut you to the white meat. Yeah, Janet Marie.
Just in a moment, huh?
It's just little cute little thing that'll just cut you to the white meat. And you're like,
And you don't even,
that's that.
and you probably don't even know you've been cut, right?
Well, you've been cut because she
Oh,
told you.
wow.
When she cut you, that's why you
Oh,
cut to the white meat.
well, sometimes people will get you in a way to where it's a delayed reaction. It's like, wait, did she just, it's one of
Yeah.
those. I didn't know if she was like, but
No,
she
you
was,
gotta. Tomorrow. I want you to tune in to Kings in the Morning. You
I
just
will.
watch and watch. If she was a knife, she'd be a Ginsu.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, Jay, Ronnie says, tell Jay we love his radio show.
Thank you,
Ronnie
Ronnie.
Song. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
A-
much.
absolutely. Absolutely. Janet's laughing. I mean, head
Because she.
back laughing. She Oh, well, listen, everybody. We've got to wrap this up. I hate to say goodbye, but you know what? You ain't got to go home, but we got to get out of here. It's been a wild ride. It's been a lot of music. It's been history. Jay, I mean, you really know your music from the top to the bottom. And I have really enjoyed my music history lesson on tonight. Thank you so very much. Thank
It's
you.
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Remember, you guys, what you make happen for others, God will make it happen for you. I love you guys. Thank you for coming in every week to support the artists that I love. And some you know, some you don't know. But tonight, this is a J thing. And we do appreciate you guys coming out and supporting. So we will see you guys next week.
We
Can't tell
want
you.
you on Kings in the Morning. We want you to come on Kings in the Morning as our guest.
Yes, exactly.
Talk to Snitchy Smurf. You and Snitchy connect so she can
Oh,
set it up. You coming on the guest.
oh Lord, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
come on,
I'm
baby.
gonna
Don't be, if
I'm
you
gonna pop
scared, call the
in. I'm
police.
coming. I
If you scared.
promise you. I
All right.
promise you. I'll be
All
in
right.
there. All right, you guys. You have a great night. I love y'all. Take care. All right. Bye.